So, are you keen to do mushroom hunting but don't know where to begin? Well, stay tuned because this video is for you. I used to go on many walks through the woods, and as I was doing so here in southern Finland, I would see all the different plants, and I'd see mushrooms growing, and I'd hear the birds call, and I'd think to myself how nice it would be to learn more about these things, in particular the mushroom. I'd see a mushroom and I'd think, is it edible, and what animals might like to eat on it? And so my curiosity grew and grew, but like many others, I was quite nervous to get started. If you've developed a keen interest in mushroom, you may have a lot of anxiety about where to learn more. You're surely not going to go into the woods and just start picking right away based on a picture that you've seen or a video that you've watched. The way that I started was by contacting an expert and went on a guided tour. This tour lasted a few hours, and the guide showed me some of the more common and easiest to identify mushrooms, and I focused on just a few to begin with. You can of course also invest in guidebooks and read and do your own research. Regardless of which option you choose, I would recommend starting small. Learn a handful of mushrooms that you're confident about identifying and stick to those. And as you get more confident and get more interested, maybe even bored with the ones that you know, then you can start adding a few at a time. Mushroom hunting, in my opinion, is a great hobby because it does not require a lot of fancy gear or expensive equipment. Some of the basic things that you're going to need are wearing a nice pair of boots to go through some terrain that's maybe wet or prickly or itchy. Same goes, you're going to want a pair of nice long pants. In Finland, you might be walking through nettles. Aside from attire, you're going to want either a mushroom basket to help carry the mushrooms in, or like I have here, a simple mesh bag. These options are great because they allow the spores of the mushrooms to continue dropping in the forest as you walk, so you're helping to grow new mushrooms for years to come. And finally, what you're going to want is some tools for cleaning your mushrooms. This can be a knife to help cut away parts of a mushroom that are not desirable, or to just clean off extra pieces of pine needles or what have you. And you could also invest in a mushroom brush to knock away any excess dirt. That way, whenever you put your mushrooms in your basket or in your mushroom bag, they're nice and tidy and you're not bringing anything home that you don't need. So I've decided to invest in an expert, or I've done my research. I now know a few mushrooms that I'd like to go look for in the woods. Where should I start looking? Start in your local woods. Go somewhere close by, somewhere you can monitor on a daily, if you're going on daily walks, or weekly basis. And that way you can monitor specific spots on your route, on your walk, and see how things develop. If you see that in a particular spot there's chanterelles and they're just tiny ones, you might consider waiting and seeing in the next few days how they get bigger. You might also check different habitats and learn where some mushrooms are more likely to grow than others, so that you can create a mental note for future occasions. Some of the more desirable mushrooms, like the porcini, are gonna be in different spots than the chanterelles will be. Definitely start in your local woods, and then as you get more familiar with those woods or bored of walking in those woods, travel a little bit, find new exciting mushroom spots, and start developing your hobby more. aside from the obvious, which is picking mushrooms that you shouldn't be picking or that are dangerous, they would be trying to learn too many mushrooms all at once. I would start small. Choose maybe 5 mushrooms max that you're comfortable with identifying, that are easily not mistaken with other mushrooms, maybe even ones that you find particularly beautiful, and go for those. Another common beginner mistake would be to take more mushrooms than you're planning on using. Let's try and be considerate when we're walking in the woods and take only what we would like to cook, to eat, and leave the rest for the animals and for potential future forager. And the final point is to just treat your mushroom hunting adventure as a journey rather than a sprint. Get excited, learn more, consult experts, become a member of your local mycology community, and enjoy.